Let my revenge begin.
覚悟してろよ。行くぜ。
Welcome to World Breaker Cool's Reviews. I'm your host, World Breaker Cool, and it's that time of year where I'm going over my top 10 Marvel Legends. Usually I do a top 10 or top 11 through 20. Instead, I'm going to do a runner-up, so the top, the next 11 through 20 right here in front of the top 20 video. So these are the ones that did not make it. There are 10 here that would have been my 11 through 20. I will have a separate video for Legends that are new, but are basically repaints. But these are my 11s through 20 that did not quite make the top 10. Magneto, for obvious reasons, really cool figure. I just feel like the body set him out from making that top 10, and he has a very hard time standing. That's why he's out of it. Worthy, I know he's a lot of top 10 list. I love this figure, but I'm actually done and tired of MCU figures. So he's the only MCU figure on this list at all. So great figure, just kind of tired of the MCU action figures. Beta Bill Ray almost made the top 10. He was right there with one other character, so he just was edged out because this is a magnificent figure if you don't have this. Just FYI. Blink, personal favorite of mine. If she had more adult proportions, like she should have been, the comics, she would have easily been in top 10, but I love this figure as well. I love the face especially, so she definitely made it. She probably would have had the pigtails like Age of Apocalypse, then she would have probably been there as well. Gambit, great figure. Love Gambit. I've always been wanting a Gambit, so easy enough to say he's in there. If they were throwing an extra set of heads, for another look, that probably would have got him in there, or if his arms would have been a bit better. Havoc's awesome. He was almost there too, but the face was as awesome as it is, it's just missing something, and these wrists kept him out of the top 10. But love that figure. Great one. Jean Grey was the actual other character that would have made the top 10, but she was just barely edged out. I love this figure. I'm glad I waited to do my top 10 until I got her because she's definitely worthy of it. I might still add in her here, but she's definitely the runner-up. So we'll just keep her right here. Professor Xavier, great figure, but he has a chair, so it's kind of cheating. But I kept him in there for obvious reasons. But he's a basic body. Storm is excellent, but the body proportions are a little bit off. And that's what kind of gave, and her face, like something's missing. There's something about Aurora is missing there. You tell me, but she was also just shy of hitting that top 10. And last but not least, Silver Samurai, awesome character. He was just shy of my top 10 as well. So without further ado, let's get into the top 10. Again, no repaints. And I changed my mind. She is going to make the top 10. She's going to be my 10th one. I'm just going to cheat a bit. She'll be the 10th. One of mine are tied for 5, so she's going to be the honorary 10th. So it's actually going to be 11 on this list, but sue me. What are you going to do? So Jean Grey, is my number 10. Great figure. Pick her up. She's worth the pack price. So get her if you can. Next, we have Mr. Sinister. I love me some Mr. Sinister. I hope we get some, well, it's not folks in here. I hope we actually get the Miss Sinister because this guy is awesome. And I absolutely love the face paint. The paint overall is just amazing. So he's definitely a figure to get. Just crazy nuts, his size and weight. Pick him up, number 9. At number 8, we have Thor. He would have easily been my higher on the list, but after playing around with him more, I honestly think they botched it a bit. His chest is just not wide enough compared to the rest of his body, but it's still a great figure. If his chest was a little bit wider, or he would have had some butterfly joints, he would have been top 5 easily because everything else is just amazing. But that chest really is distracting when you look at some of his other figures. And why is my camera doing that? So yes, that is number 8. At number 7, we have Hercules. Sorry about that. I'm not sure what was going on, but number 7, we have Hercules. Some weird stuff going on with the camera, but I love this figure. He's one of the figures I have not been able to put down at all. He was higher on the list earlier in the year, about the midway point. Still love this guy. I went back and forth with him in the next pick. He's just so much fun. Wish his legs were a little bit bigger. There wasn't so much crotch gap. But, I mean, he's a lot of fun, and I just flat out have too much fun with this muscly man. So, yeah. Then we have number 6, Nightcrawler. You know he was making the list. This is an awesome figure, from the articulation to the colors to the extra heads, just being faithful to the source material. Kurt Wagner is awesome. I mean, just flat out awesome. He almost in my top 5, but again, part of what makes my list is, you know, the figure itself and how much I actually like the character. And I do like Nightcrawler. He's not my favorite, but this is definitely one of the best figures of the year. So congrats, Kurt Wagner. And here is where I clearly cheated, because I threw Jean Grey in at number 10, but technically she should not have been on the list because I have 2 for number 5. I could not decide between these two. I like Colossus both, and who would have thought I would have liked this Iron Man as much? I mean, it just screams Alex Ross. I mean, that's just awesome. And this Colossus is just so dang faithful. I like the size, the proportions. I mean, he's just an awesome figure. So I couldn't leave him alone either. So that's why I have a tie for 5th. So with that top 5 in the way, let's keep it going with number 4. Number 4 may be a shock as well. Keeping it with Gangster with the 80 years. We have 80 years Captain America. And I threw in these straps. They didn't come with it originally, as well as the finger, the pointing finger. It just screams Alex Ross again. And the scales on here, the actual articulation. I mean, I just love this figure. I wish the head did not have as much of an issue on mine as some paint, you know, edging out, especially on the Alex Ross head. That's really problematic, but besides that, he's a great and excellent figure and my favorite Captain America in my collection. In my opinion, he's destroying the worthy cap that everybody else is going gaga over. Give me that cap any day. So that moves us on to number 3. Number 3 is going to be a shock because you're probably going to think, how he's so low. Well, my list is different. Okay, and this is not low. This is really good. This is Beast. Beast is an excellent figure. This was probably my number 1 figure at the halfway point. Still would be. I mean, objectively, I would say this probably is the number 1 figure of the year. If I was just being objective about it. I do love the 90s Beast. But he's not my favorite character. So that's what kind of hurt him a bit, because I like Beast a lot, but for obvious other reasons that you guys may not know about, there's some things that he did in the future that's more currently going on that I did not like Beast as much. So that kind of hurt his opinion, or my opinion of this character, and puts him a little bit lower. But objectively, he's probably the best figure of the year if you're looking at Marvel Legends. So he's my number 3. Which leaves number 2. This is going to be very controversial to some because they would not probably even put her this way close. I've got Emma Frost. Why? Well, let's see. First off, the body is too small. You know, I've said that multiple times for other figures. She doesn't stand amazingly well, but she does have some new items. What could have possibly made me go this high with Emma? For one, she's one of my favorite characters. Hands down, one of my favorite characters. I like the lines. I like this costume because I'm very faithful to the comics. And they were really accurate. And the face sculpt alone was enough for me to make up for any other issues. I mean, if they had fixed the body for a more Emma Frost body, then she would have been number 1, hands down. Hands down. Wouldn't even been a competition. Should have been my favorite figure of all time, and we would have left it at that. But because of that, you know, she is at number 2, and she did have an extra head, which was gorgeous as well. So number 1 is a personal favorite character of mine, and that's why he is the number 1 character of the year, or Marvel Legend of the year, and that is the Incredible Hulk. I had to get a silly figure that I did not want, the Wolverine. But at the end of the day, I ended up getting this. I sold the Wolverine, kept this guy because it's just impressive. I mean, from the paint apps to the size, I mean, this guy is what a Build-A-Figure's dream should be. And he was not a Build-A-Figure. He's just standard, you know, well, for a 2-pack. So, I mean, you're paying probably about $40 for him alone, then another $20 for Wolverine, but it's worth it. I mean, this face sculpt alone, look at that. That is beautiful. The hair shading, the pec shading. I mean, honestly, had he had the butterfly joints be able to go a little bit forward instead of back, he would have been my favorite figure of the year. I mean, look at this. This guy is just massive. So, number 1, the Hulk. And that's my top 5 Marvel Legends of the year. Been a great year. Hopefully I'll see some of yours. Keep an eye out or an ear out for my top 5 repaints for Marvel Legends of the years and my top 10 Transformers and top 10 figures of the year. So thanks for watching. Until next time, peace and Hulk smash.